Hi everyone, it's Deborah, and today I'm going to show you how to make a string tie closure, which is this. So this is a pre-bought one, but if you want to make them on anything, it's good to know how to do them. So I've got this piece here and I want to make a string tie closure on it. I've got some paper, so this is just a random piece of paper in a contrasting colour, and I've got my 1-inch circle punch out and I'm cutting 4 circles. The reason I'm cut 4 circles is because I want to put 2 of them together. So I'll end up just with 2 circles, and I do that for strength because it makes the string closure a little bit stronger. And then just pop some glue on the side you don't want on one and stack them on top of one another, and then we get a little thing that looks like that. This is a great way to use up little scraps of paper as well. That's why I save those little scraps so that I can use them for things like this. And now I have got 2. Now also I need to mark the center of them. I'm not going to measure, I'm just going to eyeball that in the center. I find that when I eyeball it seems to work fine, but you can measure that if you want to. And the next step is to actually pick eyelets, and I'm using 3/16 of an inch eyelets today. You'll need 2 of them, and I've got 2. I did have some brown ones, but I can't find them. I don't know where they've run away to, so I'm going to use black ones. It'll tie in fine because you've got the black writing on here. And then you need to position that on the paper where you want it. So you need to say, where do I want it? And I have to say it's going to be about there, I think. That's about the middle from what I see, and I need some room on the bottom here so that it's, you wouldn't want it right down the bottom here. You can just increase the length of your string when you do it as well. So the first step is to get your crocodile and put it on the eyelet to punch the actual hole out, the hole punch side, and put it in your cutter and then punch that out right through the closure that you just made, the little round circles, and the actual thing that you want to put it onto. And then take your eyelet and set it through all those layers. Now on the back you're going to have a little bit of roughness, so you might want to put a bit of paper or a bit of washi tape or something over the top of that when you go to, before you start using it. Just going to set that in place. And that's what I mean. The eyelet flares out and you get that roughness. But this isn't covered, so I could put some more paper over the top of that if I wanted to. And now I want to put my piece on the bottom, but it has to line up with the piece on the top. So I'm going to start by punching the hole out of my circle and checking where I want that to go. So that's going to go in there like that. So I'm also going to punch the hole out of the paper now. Oh, and then because I'm using a big bite, I can push that all the way in to do that. So now I've got them both out, it's easier for me to line that up rather than just randomly trying to line it up somewhere and put the eyelet in. I find that this one here is all right to do because you're quite close, but normally the bottom one is going to be further away from the edge, and I find that more difficult to do unless I've pre-punched both holes separately. And then put your setter in and set that eyelet in place, so again it comes through to the back, and that's done. So now all you need is some string. So I've got some of this nice string here, and you don't need too much, but I usually cut more than I need because I don't want to skimp and run out and go, oh God, now I haven't cut enough. Now I'm going to put it starting at the top and wrap it around a couple of times. So I've got some length. Okay, so that's wrapped around. Probably even, this string's been on here for a while, so it's a bit curly. And then coming down from the bottom, you need to wrap it around and then wrap it around the eyelet here. And then it just goes up and around the top one again, and that's how you'll tie it off. And it just holds there so that when you want to open that, you can just untie your strings and open that up. And that is how you make your own string closures.